Yeah.
Okay. So we'll try that. All right. So scale of 1 to 10, you'd like to see that number close to a 10, right? Because if you love doing it, then you would do it a lot more and you would do it a lot more better. Oh my gosh, great English. You would do it better. So why do you think we're not at a 10? Like, what's keeping us from loving it?
Feel like you're bothering people.
Bothering people. Not sure what to say.
Yeah, I think prior to keeping the group page the same, it was a lot of different invitations, because then you would have an invitation and then added to the group, and then an invitation and added to the group. So that, I think, was very overwhelming. Mm-hmm. Even as a challenger, when I started, I wasn't really sure where I was supposed to go or what I was supposed to do. Mm-hmm. But on the flip side, sometimes I'm not really sure how much I am invested in the group to really talk about it and love it that much to be able to invite to it. Mm-hmm. So that could be.
Yeah, absolutely. I hear both of those, and I agree with you. And I think a lot of what holds us back is maybe we're scared of either rejection or just fumbling it, or
just the crickets.
Just the crickets, yeah. Just scared of like being ignored again. And
when I send another invite and realize the last message between me and that person was the previous invite that I'd sent, I'm like, I've sent, now I'm just pestering them.
Right. Yeah. So let's talk about this, because I think a lot of the time we think of inviting as inviting them to, I don't know, like a product that we sell. Like our challenge groups are a product, right? I mean, our ultimate goal is to connect people with Shakeology and Beachbody programs to get them results. That's what we do as coaches. But I think we think about it in terms of eventually leading to a sale, eventually connecting them with the products, which is great. We shouldn't start. Okay, here's the thing. We're always told, like, don't be salesmen, like, don't be salesy, and that's not what we do. We don't sell. And it's true, but we do sell. Like, outside of Beachbody, we sell all freaking day long. Like, I sell my kids on the idea of, if you're good, you'll get this. I sell my husband on why we need to get rid of the bats in the attic. Like, that's all we do. Yeah, true story, not lying. That's what we do. Like, your kids try to sell you, right? Like, they try to sell you on why they need a snack at 9:30 a.m. when they just had breakfast. Like, that's what we do as humans when we're communicating. We are selling. We are selling our ideas and our thoughts to everybody else. And so I understand we don't want to be pushy, salesy, gross about it, but you kind of do have to come to terms with the fact that we're selling a product, but we're also selling a service, and we're selling ourselves. Like, not on the street corner, but like, we're selling what we do and our service to these people. And so we can kind of make it more about providing and connecting them with the service than product. It might help in terms of a mindset standpoint. So like, when I start to feel like, oh, like Marnie, where, oh, great, my last message to this person was an invite that got ignored. I'll kind of think of it like, okay, I can just get uncomfortable about this and not message them, like hit the backspace and be like, okay, we're just going to let that lie. I've done that because I'm just like, I don't know what to do with this right now. But instead of thinking, because now I'm afraid that they're going to reject my next invite or ignore it, or it's just further dividing them away from me. And so what I'll do instead is think about it in terms of, can this person use what I provide? Can this person benefit from the service that I provide them? Yes, I think they can. And so then I'm left with, then it's, as a coach, like, I feel the pull to help them or to try to help them, to reach out to them. I can't make them do it. If they want to ignore me, they'll ignore me. But just making that little shift in your mind to say, can this person benefit from the service that I'm offering them, or from what I have to offer them? even if it's a free challenge group, clean eating group or walking, whatever it is, if you think they can benefit from it, it's really our role as coaches to at least extend the offer. How do we do it though without it being creepy and gross? Okay, let's talk that way. So the first one is something that Anna touched on, and it's hosting groups that excite you. I've hosted, gosh, I've been doing this, over a year and a half. And I've hosted some groups that I really couldn't have given two craps about, that I was like, this does not thrill me. I don't like this. But I've also hosted groups that I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like my Recharge Your Life one. I was so excited to invite to that group because I was like, oh my gosh, we are going to do some amazing crap in this group. I've never done a group like this. I was like off the walls excited. And that's probably the most invites I've ever done, and quality invites, not just numbers, but like good invites, because I was like pumped up and lit up about that group. So not all of our challenge groups are going to be like that. You can only get so excited about clean eating. But like maybe you really like squash. Maybe squash is great. And so Nikki's Clean Eating Squashtober, I think it's called. Great, get excited. And if you're not excited about it and you're kind of like, well, I'm not really excited about this one, but you know that one of your challengers will be. So like, for example, Rebecca, Val, and I are running the Run Temper event group. And some of you might not be runners and have really no desire to run, or, it's just not your thing, but you might know some people who are. That should be enough to kind of excite you. Like, ooh, look, a perfect group for so-and-so. Cool. I can plug them into something that they are going to love. That it doesn't have to be your excitement. That helps when it's your excitement, but at least recognize when certain groups are a good fit for certain people in your network, and then let that excitement drive you. Does that mean you should invite your entire network to the Run Temper event? No, because you're not passionate about it. So either find the passion in yourself and what you like to do, or if it's a fit for you. And if not, then at least think of, okay, well, who might this group be good for? Same thing with the Team Unity Boys versus Girls Challenge. If you have a like power duo couple that that, oh man, this would be really awesome for them, then get excited about inviting them to that. But if you're not really into it, or your significant other or partner, whatever, doesn't want to really do that, then maybe you don't invite everybody. So the first thing is leading with that emotion and leading with that excitement, because when we're excited, we talk about it differently. Like, just think, like, if you find some crazy amazing deal at TJ Maxx on some designer something or other, you get all excited and you like text your friends and you're like, oh my gosh, look at the picture of my bag, I just got this, I can't believe it. You're like that kind of energy is infectious. And if your invites are stale and boring and, hey, I have this group coming up and thought maybe you might like it, does that sound exciting? Does that sound like something they just have to join because it's going to be so amazing? And granted, everyone talks differently. You guys probably don't talk the way I do. So that's how I express my excitement. How you express it is you. Make it you. But don't just hedge with, well, I'm hosting this challenge group and I think it might be kind of fun. That doesn't sound like kind of fun. Like, I want to hear you tell me that it's going to rock my socks off, like change my life, and like make it, I mean, granted, you don't want to like promise the world, but it will change your life. Like, it can change their life. So lead with that emotion, feel it, and then just go with it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, send it, get excited and send it. Maybe have a little Energizer coffee before you do inviting, just saying. I think that Haley Christian puts on gangster rap music. Whatever works for you. Like, I actually do like hardcore rap and like 90s rap, and so I will turn that on, or Eminem, or if that's not your thing, maybe it's like hair bands. I have to admit, I laugh at Oscar's playlist. That's my husband's favorite kind of music, is like hair band music. But if he has it going in the background, I find myself like, yeah, like I get like kind of pumped up by it. Like, I have Metallica on my running playlist and I never listen to Metallica, but sometimes it just works. So it's finding little tricks to kind of pump yourself up before you go and do the thing you're a little nervous about. Okay. So how else can we like lead with the heart? Like, talk to them instead of sell to them. think about like pain points. We talk about this a lot. But think about pain points for them. And instead of just sending them, okay, the step before inviting is connecting, right? So when we're connecting, instead of just sending them the, hey, how's it going? I saw this picture of your kid, looks cute, or whatever. Try to start a conversation about like real specifics that will get them sharing deeper than just, oh, I'm doing good, work's good. Because then when you get those answers, you're like, well, where does that go? Like now I feel weird inviting them because it doesn't seem natural, because the conversation is really surface level. So start off your conversations. I've wrote down 3 that I've used recently. The one I wrote was, hi, whatever. I was thinking about you. How is your job going? I know you mentioned that there were possible layoffs a while back. And so now I'm asking them a specific question about their job. And in this case, I was asking to invite to the coach event that we had Sunday, because I was wanting to find out how is she feeling about her job? Is she feeling safe? Is she feeling threatened? Is she feeling like she might need some other income? Like that, you can see how that question starts to pave the way for what I want to invite her to, instead of just saying, hey, how's it going? Saw you, and little details are good. Saw you went on a trip. How was it? That's good, but really try to ask specific questions. One, it makes people feel cared about, that you remembered things about their life. And I do admit, sometimes I have to cheat and kind of either make notes when I see things like that, or go back and look at their page and think, oh yeah, I did see that. Okay, do what you have to. But they still feel special and remembered and cared about, because you're remembering details about their life that, let's be honest, most people forget. Another one I said is, how is your husband feeling? I saw he was sick all week last week. Did you stay healthy? Did the kids stay healthy? And now, great, look at, we're talking about staying healthy and immune systems, and it's so much easier to segue that into an invite to clean eating or whatever other challenge or whatever else. And then another one I said, just wanted to send a note to say, hi, you seem a little down lately in your posts. Is everything okay? Can I help? And this was just to someone who kind of posted like a few quotes, like shared a few just like generic quotes, but they were kind of less upbeat than this person normally is. And so I followed up to see if everything was okay. And it turns out she just wanted someone to talk to. She just wanted to vent about some family stuff. And it like totally strengthened that bond. And I invited her to my Rocktober that's coming up. So you can see how making specific, caring questions to them is building your relationship with them and opening up an invite when it sometimes doesn't feel natural otherwise. Because when we just kind of say, hey, how are things? And when that conversation doesn't progress into any kind of health or fitness related thing, we kind of feel stuck, like we can't invite them. So that's a big tip. The other thing is to make it about us and not you. So, or not even just them. Like, let them know that their pain point is your pain point. So, for example, I'll be honest with you girls, my clean eating the last week and a half has been awful for me, awful. I'm still eating healthy, but I'm not nearly as dialed in as I typically am. And so that makes it easy for me to sort of identify with other people who are busy and haven't had a lot of time to devote to meal planning and stuff, and say, let's do this together. That you've probably noticed, I even said to one, I don't know if you've noticed, I've not posted any of my delicious food pictures on social media in the last several days, weeks, because I'm not doing a great job at it. Like, I'm just doing the bare minimum. So I totally want to get back on track. Do you want to get back on track with me? Please help me. Like, make it about you two doing something together versus just trying to change them or just trying to collect them. And you are helping them, but pull them in so that they feel from the get-go that you're in it with them and that it's not just something that you're trying to lead to a sale. Don't vomit the details. I'm so guilty of this, you guys. When someone expresses like the littlest bit of interest, I'm like, fantastic, we're going to do, and it turns out to be like a message like this long, and I don't get a response, and I'm like, well, that's really not a shocker. Like, it's overwhelming for somebody, especially if they've never done a challenge group. They're like, whoa, what is all this? It's too much too fast. So your best bet when somebody is interested is to have like a 1, 2, maybe 3 short sentence response about what your group is and what they will get out of it. That's what I've discovered that people care the most about, is what the group is and how they're going to benefit from it. So my Rocktober event is like a partner challenge group. So I've just been telling people that, it will happen. I've said on Facebook, but I might move it to the Challenge Tracker app, but I'll deal with that later. But it's in a closed group on Facebook. You'll have to do these, 3 things. And I wish I'd written down what I wrote because it was good, but now I don't remember, of course. And, we're going to work together and use our partner to help keep us accountable to our, if this person is more worried about nutrition, then I'll say nutrition and fitness goals. If they're more fitness oriented, I'll say fitness and nutrition. I just mix it up based on tell them a little bit about what it is, 1 sentence about what it is and what it's going to get them. Remind them what they want. Hopefully they've already told you what they want. They need help. They need help with a certain area. They need help staying accountable. They need help with fitness. They need motivation to get off their ass. Like, whatever it is, make sure what the group will do for them. That's what you're highlighting, because the group will do all those things. And then ending it with, doesn't this sound like so much fun? Do you want in? Instead of just, do you want it? Would you like to join? Would you like to learn more? Like, I've been using, would you like to learn more? I've been using that for a year. And now when I read that, I'm like, oh, boring. That's not exciting. That doesn't sound like I'm excited about it. When I say, would you like to learn more? That sounds like an infomercial. So now I'm trying to use phrases that are more like me, like how I talk to you guys. Like, it's going to be super fun. And it might annoy people. It might turn them off because they don't use the word super fun. And I could use it super fun-tastically all the time. But then maybe they're not my tribe. And maybe they wouldn't even take to me in a challenge group anyway. So don't be afraid. I think it was Anna, somebody said, like, I'm not going to worry about it if you don't like me, if you don't like my style, whatever. I say like all the time. I say super fun. I say amazing all the time. So why am I not using that in my invites? So doesn't this sound like so much fun? We're going to have a blast. Are you in? Like, do you want in? Or even if you're not that crazy like I am, then maybe you could say, do you think this could help with whatever their issue is? Do you think this could help you keep on track with your nutrition? Does it sound like this could help you? Because then they're like, yeah, actually it kind of does, like it would sound like it would help. Yeah, sign me up. Like, it's so much easier to get them to an answer when you phrase it in more than just, would you be interested in learning more? Because that's just dull. It's so 2016. I like it. It's like I said, I've used that exact line forever. And just this summer, I've like mixed it up and I'm like, I like this so much better. So I don't know if this was helpful at all. I seriously had no like plan or sketch, but those are just some of my thoughts about inviting. And most of that is directed at warm market. Cold market inviting, I could do on a different call. I really kind of wanted to talk warm market to you guys today. So was that helpful? Kind of give you some new ideas, kind of new thoughts a little bit. What questions, like if you have specific scenarios that you've encountered or certain questions about inviting, I'd be happy to answer on the spot. Woo-hoo.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good. I've had trouble with people that have joined and then they don't really participate much at all. Mm-hmm. And then trying to figure out if they want to continue like in different groups and, another group. Okay. Just opening that door. I don't know if that's off topic or not, but.
Nope. Not at all. Do you follow up with them either during or after the challenge to see how they liked it?
Yeah, I do a little bit of both, depending on their kind of personality or the way they respond to me. But I've had where they don't even comment in the group at all. And then I don't even know what to say. Like, how are you liking it? Or any questions about it? Or
yes, I try not to assume that they are unplugged from it.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning, I did that, and I got a few people that said, no, I was there. I don't like to post a lot.
Okay.
I felt like I made them defensive by like attacking them that I didn't see you post in the group. And, so I try now to handle it a little bit like, actually, I just messaged a few people from the run group, and I was like, hi, just checking in to see how you're enjoying the Run Timber Challenge group. Is there anything, what did I say? Something like, is there anything, or what do you like best about it, or what have you enjoyed most about it so far? And then that gives them, if you haven't had a chance to really, dive in yet, it's totally okay. I'm just curious to see where you're at and how I can help.
Mm-hmm.
That way they can feel okay saying, you know what, no, I kind of didn't really commit as much as I wanted to. And it allows them to tell you that they are not, participating, even though you see it. But it also allows them to say, well, I've been following along, but I'm kind of hesitant to post myself, or I'm just kind of watching. Sometimes people are watchers. They just like to watch what's happening, and they don't post, they don't participate, but somehow it keeps them motivated and accountable a little bit more than if they weren't in there. So that's why I go back and forth about kicking those people out. Like, if you're going to participate, you're not just going to like use me for a meal plan and then go.
Yeah.
I get into phases where I think that, and then I'm like, you know what? My job is to serve other people. And so maybe I am changing their life, even if they don't even see it yet. But if they're using my meal plans and getting motivation from the group, then I'm doing good by them. So I let them in. And so then you can just say, no matter what they respond to, if they say, yeah, I totally fell off, I kind of started on the wrong foot and just couldn't get into it, then you can say, oh, I totally understand. Sometimes the timing just doesn't work out. I do have another group if you'd be interested in giving it another try or trying something a little bit different. And then if they say that, yeah, they really enjoyed it, and same thing, just say, awesome, that's fantastic. I actually have another group coming up that maybe you would really like. I'd love to see you participate in that. Like, not like pushing them to participate, but just mention like, it'd be so fun if you participated in that one too. And then again, they can, let you know, yay or nay.
Okay. And I don't want to bombard, but I was just one more where I had a few say that they enjoyed it, but they couldn't do it every week, or they can't imagine. They just seem to kind of fall off. I don't know how to explain it, but I didn't know how to re-invite, like if I should, or
like that it was too much, that it was overwhelming, and that's why they couldn't do it every week, or just because they couldn't stay that committed every week. I
think it was maybe more they couldn't stay committed.
Okay.
Possibly. I didn't investigate completely, but
okay. I'm not sure how exactly you would tell that, unless they said they were overwhelmed, or
right.
One challenger who's told me to stop inviting her to stuff because she's and, so in that case, I would try to ask them why, actually. I would try to say, why do you think that you couldn't do this?
Okay.
And let them tell you what their fears and struggles are, because there's a limiting self-belief in that statement to me, that if someone says I couldn't do this all the time, and maybe it's not something they even want to fix or address right now, and that's okay, but at least you understand them better, so you can say, okay, well, maybe this is somebody that can do the once a month clean eating, but really doesn't want to isn't ready to commit hardcore fitness. Still keep up with them, still keep them on your radar as somebody to help, but I would dig a little bit and try to find out why they think that they couldn't, because that so many of us thought that we couldn't do this, and yet somehow we ended up doing it, sort of like, what am I doing? How am I doing this? And you just do. So
yeah.
you
okay.
you can help.
Thank you.
That was me.
I think that was a lot of us. The first time we had a challenge group that went like over a weekend, I was like, raw.
I like that when we have them go over the weekend. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. Plans.
It's bad when you have like plans on Saturday and Sunday, and the challenge group goes over the weekend, and you're like, oh, it's not going to be pretty.
I'm that guy. Yeah.
But I actually like that, because then our challengers are like, oh, okay. Like,
yeah,
people aren't robots. Like,
life happens.
Yeah, life happens. And I think it promotes a healthy way of approaching a clean lifestyle as opposed to like obsessive.
Yeah.
Because I know some people think that about, I know Val, you and I have talked about this, but some people, like, now that you're on this new lifestyle thing, they'll like pass judgment on what you are or are not eating and what you are not doing. Like, oh, I bet you went for a 6-mile run today. And I'm like, actually, no, I didn't. I took a rest day today, and I'm eating cake on the same day. Like, I don't care. Like, you know, so people will kind of judge you on the reverse, which is weird. But that's just people.
Yeah, I remember Carrie Severa was like, when the first time I mentioned, 80-20 rule, she was like, oh, okay. Like, she thought that we just are like this 100%. I'm like, that's so not realistic.
No.
I also have found that during the clean eating week itself, if you do have a day that sometimes I think it's nice for challengers to see that from your coach, because it just kind of says, oh, okay, they're living too. They made a mistake, or not even a mistake. They just had a glass of wine.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. And then I think it's good to show the comeback from that too, because a lot of the time people will fall off one day and then they'll think, well, I've blown this week, and then they stop either trying as hard or participating. And so I think it's good to show that you can have a rough day where you only earn 3 points, but then you bounce back and say, hey, I'm going to make sure tomorrow is a 5, or, at least higher than today. So it's really practicing what we preach to them. So
I have questions about inviting, but that's what I was going to talk to you about tomorrow on our one-on-one.
Oh, okay.
I need to schedule that.
I do too.
Get on my calendar before it fills up with I don't know what.
So we have a few minutes, so I'll ask you one of my questions that I had written down over here. So when I, through my clean eating event invite somebody, not a personal written message, and they click going, and then I message them, and I always ask them to sign up through my website and everything. I feel like once they do that, it's like, all right, now I got to figure out something more to say to them, like, and figure out, are they just signing up for the recipes, or do they have other goals or reasons for signing up? And that's what I've asked a few people this time, and I've kind of gotten so responses to that. So what do you say when you have, sorry, Marnie, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, didn't you make like a Google form questionnaire kind of thing for that?
I had that. It's sort of like a challenge group application form, but you could even dumb it down. And you're at you're even more focused in on it than I am, because I don't make them sign up for a free account with me. I've skipped that lately.
Really? Oh.
And part of that is because honestly, it's not that much effort for people to do it, but it was stopping a lot of people from joining my clean eating groups. They would get to that point, they wouldn't do it, and it was like I was tired of chasing them to do it, and then they wouldn't join the group. And I'm like, man, now they're not getting into my funnel, all because of this technicality of them not signing up for a free account with me. And you do, though, have to realize the risk of doing that is that they will sign up with somebody else at some point in time. But they could always switch anyway. Even if they are under you, they could switch. But your risk is higher that you'll be doing some work and then they'll sign up with someone else by not having them sign up. So I do want to make that clear to everyone. If you choose to.
But why would they?
Huh?
I mean, look at us. Why would they sign up anywhere else?
I know.
But I feel like
that's the thing.
If they can't take the 30 seconds to sign up, are they even going to participate?
Strangely enough, most of mine that I have, at least when I made the switch, I watched for that the first 2 months after I decided I'm going to take that out of my invite process. And a lot of the ones, not all of them, but enough participated that made me think, okay, it could have been coincidence. I don't know. But for whatever reason, that extra step for some people might not be a big deal. But for others, it seemed like it was just an extra roadblock that I was getting frustrated by, that I'm like, these people, like every month they would click that they wanted to go, and I would tell them, should you sign up? And they wouldn't. And I'm like, okay.
And sometimes people are just skeptical of the signing up, like, what am I getting into?
They don't want to sign up for an account. I don't know what it is. They're just hesitant. And until they understand what it is and what we're doing, then I think they're more willing maybe later on. But again, that's a judgment call. So if you are making them sign up and you're not sure what to say to them after after that point, like, I guess I'm not sure not sure to say about getting started with the group or what they want to get out of it.
Yeah, like what they want to get out of it. Why are they joining, kind of thing.
Did you just ask them? Like, I'd love to know a little more about, what you struggle with, what your people will answer like a one question, like, what's your biggest struggle that you want help with? People will normally answer that question. Oh, I'm really bad with snacking. I'm really bad with everything. I'm really bad with portion control. Like, what do you really struggle with, or what's your biggest struggle with nutrition or with fitness and nutrition? People are pretty willing to answer that, and then you can take that conversation forward.
Yeah, if you ask too many questions, they won't answer all of them.
Right. That's why the form is a little messy, because it's more involved. Again, it's another step, another thing for them to do.